Now, it is an unprecedented move by Australia to protect independent journalism. The Australian government, it appears, will be forcing tech giants like Google and Facebook to pay Australian media outlets for news content. Now, this will make Australia the first country to require these big tech companies to pay for news content that is provided by media companies. Now, it's been described as a watershed moment. The aim is to give publishers a level playing field.
What we have sought to do is to create a level playing field, to ensure a fair go for Australian news media businesses, and that when they generate original content, that they are fairly paid for it. We want Google and Facebook to continue to provide these services to the Australian community, which are so much loved and used by Australians. But we want it to be on our terms. We want it to be in accordance with our law. And we want it to be fair. But as the technology has developed, and as the power, the wealth, the influence of these digital platforms, namely Google and Facebook, has grown, our regulatory framework has not kept up. And as a result, there is a very unequal bargaining position between Australian news media businesses that produce original content and the digital platforms.
Now, the Code of Conduct will be subject to a month-long consultation period. It has been drafted by Australia's competition regulator and will be debated by the Parliament. If legislation is passed, the code is designed to be reviewed after a year, and it lays out a royalty-style system and could impose penalties worth hundreds of millions of dollars in case of non-compliance. Now, Facebook and Google strongly oppose the proposal. The timing of the move is crucial. It comes just a day after the leaders of the tech firms were grilled by the US Congress for alleged abuse of their market power. The tech giants are facing growing calls from around the world for greater regulation. In Australia, the move has been in the works for quite a while now, and Australia has been building pressure on these big tech companies since late last year, when following an inquiry into the state of the media market. The Australian government has told Facebook and Google to negotiate a voluntary deal with media companies to use their content.
It's about a fair go for Australian news media businesses. It's about ensuring that we have increased competition, increased consumer protection, and a sustainable media landscape.
And profits of several news outlets in Australia have taken a severe beating. A 2019 study reveals about 3,000 journalism jobs have been lost in Australia in the past 10 years. According to the Australian Treasurer, for every $100 that is spent on online advertising in Australia, excluding classifieds, nearly a third goes to Google and Facebook. And the rest of the world has been making attempts, but they've not been successful. Now, publishers in countries such as Germany and Spain have pushed to pass national copyright laws. The objective has been to make Google pay licensing fee when it puts out snippets of their news articles. Now, after the US lawmakers grilled 4 of the